Welcome to Zen Fits here in Blackstone, Virginia on a beautiful Monday. At our house, it's laundry day. So let's wash some clothes. Okay, 10 minutes. And the title of this talk is, well, let's see, sit in your anxiety. Sit in it. Anxiety. We all have it. Anxiety is like in quantum, there's the butterfly effect. A butterfly flaps in Brazil, and a tornado happens in Oklahoma. The butterfly effect. So anxiety is like that. A butterfly flaps, a little anxious, a little anxiety, and the next minute it could be a panic attack. You can watch it. It's like a microphone and an amplifier. Wow, 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 explodes. So if you stick a mic in an amplifier, it creates an energy tape loop that accelerates because it's feeding each other. It's not going out, it's going into each other like a snake eating a tail. So it accelerates. And you have to turn it off or it blows your mind or the amplifier will blow up. But we're talking about anxiety. So anxiety is like sticking a mic in an amplifier, creates a little whirlpool, and it begins to wow, 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 wow. Well, now I'm anxious about being anxious, about being anxious, about being anxious. There's no end to it. It's an expanding contradiction. It's an expanding storm. Anxiety. Something's not right. Something's wrong. Something doesn't fit. I'm anxious about it. The future is unknown. Something's bad's going to happen. It's about a contradiction that has no resolution by thought. Thought can't solve it. A lot of times, there's the Batman bitch slap, there's a little gift that you get, with Batman slapping Robin. So when we get stuck in a little anxiety whirlpool, sometimes the slap can slap us out of it. Wake up. Boom. Death is like that. Accidents are like that. You're driving along, daydreaming, the next thing you're swerving out of the way of a truck or something. Reality wakes us up. So reality can wake us up from the tape loop of anxiety, you see. But usually that anxiety must come from outside. Like the bitch slap of Batman. Wake up. Or slamming the table. Shut up. Bam. You see. We do this all the time. People get caught up in a tape loop. Wow, 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 wow. Stop it. Boom. With kids, they get caught up. Wow, 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 wow. Stop it. And the parent says, stop it. Snaps them out of it, you see. Zen is like that. Zen is a bitch slap. Zen slaps you awake, you see. But it's induced. It's welcomed. It's invited. You want to get slapped. You want to wake up. Wake up. We want it, you see. I have to wake up. I want it. So we go into a practice that will slap us. So it's a safe one because I want it. The slaps of life we don't want. What do you mean? I wanted to do that, and I got slapped, and we blame people. I hurt. Who did it, you see? So life is always slapping us, but we don't get out of the anxiety. We just kick the can down the road. We get out of this one, and there's a can, and there's another can coming, and I'm caught up in it. And I think it's a new can, but it's the same anxiety, you see. So we get caught up in the same tape loop, thinking it's new. And we blame someone else for it. And we go to a therapist. We take drugs. We find escape. You medicate it. Go watch TV. Have a martini. Give a talk. So we find ways to escape the anxiety, but it never gets rid of this anxiety. So what we're interested in is how do we get rid of it? How do we work with it? It's very scientific, this Zen is. Very logical. although it seems to be totally insane. So if Zen says, or take a Zen cone, please. The breakout cone is mu. Now, I've talked about this before. I want to connect it up with yesterday's talk on the space odyssey, the obelisk. What is the obelisk that comes in the space odyssey? It doesn't have any context. You can't reference it. You can't look it up in Google. There's nothing in the encyclopedia that tells you what this obelisk is. In the movie, it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor for something that we need to look at. What is the anxiety of the obelisk? When something appears in your life that has no reference, it drives you crazy. Who did it? What is it? Why is it here? What's its cause? COVID, what's its cause? Obama did it. Oh. You see, we're always looking for a cause. Find the cause, you think you can remove the effect. What if there's no cause? What if there's no cause? You can't remove it. Drives us crazy. Well, there must be a cause. Somehow I must be able to find the cause. Everything has a cause. Keep looking. But what if there's no cause? There's no cause to the obelisk in Space Odyssey. And let's take a Zen cone, the breakout cone. Mu. All right. So the monk has anxiety. The monk goes to see the master. And he says, does a dog have Buddha nature, master? Now, Buddha nature in Buddhism is like crucifixion in Christianity. Of course there's a crucifixion, and no one would ask a good Christian, good Catholic, was Christ really crucified? You see? So this question already, basically the question is about anxiety. The monk is anxious because Buddha says everyone has Buddha nature, but he doesn't feel it. I'm anxious. I don't have peace. So why don't, if a dog has Buddha nature, am I not better than a dog? Why don't I feel it? Why don't I know it? Why am I not at rest? So we ask, does a dog have Buddha nature? So what does Joshu, the master, say? Mu. Now, mu in Japanese means no. So that's like going to the Pope and saying, was Jesus crucified? And he says, no. You see, what? That's not the answer. So this no is something other than yes or no. So if you said yes or no to the monk, that would not answer his question. His question is, why do I have anxiety when I'm not supposed to have it? Why have I got it? Am I a dog? Am I no better than a dog, you see? Mu. So mu is like the obelisk in Space Odyssey. There's no reference to it. You can't figure out what it means in logic. You can come up with, write a book on it, and you still don't know what it means. Because you're dealing with my anxiety. So the Zen answer to anxiety is to sit in it. Shikantaza, just sit in it. Don't fight it. If you've got a little whirlpool, a little butterfly going, sit with the butterfly. It's a feeling. You sit in the anxiety. You don't try to explain it. You don't try to avoid it. You don't try to medicate it. You don't try to run from it, suppress it, kick it away. You don't do anything with it. You just feel it. You allow it to be. Oh, isn't that interesting? This is a feeling. This anxiety is just a feeling. The moment you say, I hurt, who did it? Now that creates the whirlpool, you see. I hurt means somebody did it. What's the cause? Who caused this hurt? But there's no cause to the feeling. It's the obelisk. It's mu. It just sits there. Mu. What do? You just sit with it. Now here's the secret. Let me tell you that. Well, I got a little bit more. I'll keep on going. I'm going to tell you this. You see. When you allow the wow, 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 wow to increase, okay, Stick the mic in the amplifier. It's going to go wow, 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 wow. Turn it off, you see. Don't turn it off. Let it go wow, 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 wow. Because you want it. You invite it. You allow it. You don't try to turn it off. And what happens is that when the anxiety, this energy, wow, 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 reaches saturation, you break through it. This is why Mu is called a breakthrough Zen koan. In order to enter Zen, you have to break through Mu. It's a barrier set up by the patriarchs. It's the barrier, the gateless gate of Zen. You have to break through Mu in order to enter the path of awakening. Okay? And the way you do it is you work with the anxiety and you let it go. And when it reaches a saturation point, instead of going into a panic attack and committing suicide, it awakens you. And you have a kensho or an insight or a creative idea that creates a new world, that creates a resolution. It could be a simple thing like, how do I open a treasure chest? How do I fix a machine? How do I write this? How do I get out of this fix, like MacGyver? How do I get out of a fix? You see, is an anxiety, is a question. So the whole point here is that you let the energy, you allow this conflicting contradiction to reach a saturation point, and spontaneously you break through. Because the energy cannot go any further. You stick a mic in an amplifier, it can only go so loud before the amplifier blows up. But what Zen does is, instead of the amplifier blowing up, it blows you out. And that blowout is Mu. The blowout is whew, the candles blow, the contradiction is blown out. And it just never was. You're suddenly free. You're suddenly like a rocket who has broken through the gravity. We're just free of gravity. I'm free of contradiction. I'm free of anxiety. Thanks for dropping in. I didn't go too much farther.